He who has health has hope, and he who has hope has everything. With this wonderful thought, I, Mr. Vinay Kumar Sharma, welcome all of you in today's class. Dear students, in today's class, we are going to discuss the chapter number 2 of Social and Political Life, Health Services in India. Under this chapter, we will discuss the meaning of health in detail. We will also try to understand some positive as well as negative points of Indian health services. We will do the comparison between the public and the private health services available in India, and in the last, dear students, we will try to find out some ways by which we can improve the health services in India. So let's start the chapter. Dear students, first of all, let us try to understand the meaning of the word health. Health means to remain free from the physical and the mental worries and injuries. It means that if any person is free from the physical as well as from the mental worries or injuries, that person can be considered as a healthy person. Health not only include the physical fitness of any person, but it also include the mental health of any person. For retaining any person health, clean environment as well as clean drinking water is also necessary. So these two things, I mean to say clean environment and water, also consider to be the part of health. Now let's see some positive as well as the negative points of the Indian health services. We will do the comparison study of both. First point, you see, India has largest number of medical colleges in the world. More than 30,000 doctors qualify every year. This is a very good thing for India. But in contrary, if we see, then we can find that most of the doctors reside means live in the urban areas. Urban areas means those areas which are developed like towns and cities. Most of the doctors are living in these areas, and the number of doctors with respect to the population available in the rural areas is very less. Second point, now you see, health facilities has increased in India. In 1950, there were only 2,717 hospitals were there. But if we take the data of 2017 of Government of India, then we find that about 23,583 hospitals are available there. It means there is a lot of improvement in the sector of health. On the contrary, if you see, then we find that about 5 lakh people die in India due to tuberculosis. Tuberculosis is a communicable disease, and about 20 lakh cases of malaria are reported every year. So this is not a good thing in respect of health for India. third point, if we see, then we come to know that every year thousands of people come from the other countries for treatment in some of the world class hospitals situated in India. If we see the negative point, then we see that by yet we people are not able to provide the clean drinking water to all the citizens of India. And out of the total communicable diseases, it is estimated that 21% of diseases come from the dirty water, like diarrhea, worms, and hepatitis, etc. Next point. India is the third largest producer of medicines in the world. This is a very good thing for India. But on the contrary, if we see, half of the children in India do not get the adequate food to eat and are undernourished. Undernourished means they are not getting the proper diet which they require for the growth. Dear students, if we talk about the health services in India, we can divide broadly these health services into two types or two categories. One is public health services and second one is the private health services. Public health services means the services which are provided by the government in government hospitals, dispensaries, and the health centers. And private health services means the services which we get from the private clinics, doctors, and hospitals. Now let's study about both in detail one by one. First, we will have a look over the public health services. So, public health services is a chain of hospitals from rural areas to cities. Almost all hospitals are linked with one another so that they may provide the treatment from small ailments to the big ailments. Here the word ailment means any kind of disease. So the government has set up the hospitals in such a way so that from small ailment to big ailment may be treated. At the rural areas like I have stated you earlier, that undeveloped areas like villages, there we have health centers, and these health centers provide the treatment of small ailments like cough, cold, normal fever. Such type of diseases are cured in these health centers, where we will not find very much qualified doctors, only nurses or other type of trained persons we find. After the rural health centers, we have the health centers which are situated at the block level, and these health centers try to cure the patients which are not cured by the primary health centers due to lack of medical facilities or due to any other reason. If any patient is not get treated in these health centers, then the person can go to the district hospital, which provide treatment of those diseases which cannot be treated by the primary health centers or by the block health centers. In big cities, we have hospitals which provide specialized treatment. Specialized treatment means they provide the treatment of particular diseases like cancer, kidneys, and heart. The main aim of all the government hospitals is to provide free treatment, or if money is taken from them, then they will take very less money from the patient. This is the main aim of all the government hospitals. The second aim of government hospital is to prevent the spread of diseases like TB, malaria, jaundice, and many other communicable diseases. Like you can see, now the government is trying to control the COVID-19 virus. It is written in our constitution that it is the duty of the government to ensure welfare of the people and to provide health care facilities to all its citizens. And for this, the government try time to time with the different type of program and policies. Dear students, like I have stated earlier that it is the duty of the government to provide the basic health facilities to its citizens, and to protect the life of its citizens is also the duty of the government. But sometimes negligence of the government hospitals can be seen. Here we have such type of case. We have a case of Hakim Sheikh. Hakim Sheikh was a member of Paschim Bangla Khet Mazdoor Samiti, which was an organization of agricultural laborers in West Bengal. One evening in 1992, he accidentally fell from a running train and he suffered severe or very critical head injuries. He was in a very critical condition and he needed immediate treatment. He was taken to a government hospital in Kolkata, but they refused to admit him because they did not have a spare bed or extra bed. After that, he was taken to another hospital, and another hospital did not have any facility which is necessary for the treatment. In this way, he spent almost 14 hours in a critical state and was taken to 8 different government hospitals. But it is very bad to say here that none of them admitted him, and finally he was admitted in a private hospital where he received the treatment. He spent a lot of money on his treatment. After getting treatment and after getting well, he became angry and upset over the indifferent attitude of all the hospitals, and he, I mean to say Hakim Sheikh, and the PBKMS filed a case in the court against all those government hospitals. And when the decision or verdict came from the court, what did the court say? Let's see. The court said that it is the duty of government to provide necessary health services, including treatment in emergency situation. It means that any hospital, may be government or private, cannot deny any patient if he is in a emergency situation. You people would have seen one famous movie, Munna Bhai MBBS, where they have shown all these things there. Afterwards, the court also said that it is the duty of government to safeguard the life of every citizens. Safeguard means to protect the life of every citizens. It is the duty of government. Now let's move forward, and the second type of health services about which I was discussing with you people is the private health services. And these private health services are available in India at very much high cost. Now let's study about what is the system of these private health services in detail. So there is a wide range of private hospitals in India. Different type of hospital or different type of health services in private sector we can see. Many doctors are there who run their private clinics, and in urban areas more doctors are available than the rural areas. Then next thing they're telling us that some hospitals are owned by the doctors, where they provide the facility of other type of test like ultrasound, x-rays and other type of test, or even the medicines are provided inside the hospitals. These hospitals are not directly controlled by the government. They are indirectly controlled by the government. And the treatment in these hospitals is costlier than the government hospitals. Some hospitals adopt malpractices, like they prescribe unnecessary medicines or tests to the patients which are not required. So this is a bad thing about the private health services in India. Dear students, after studying about the private health sector and the public health sector, now let's try to see some points by which we can improve the health services in India. And the first point is government should increase the number of government hospitals and the medical staff, so that all people may be treated in India at a very affordable price. Second point is more number of medical equipments should be provided to the hospitals, especially to the government hospitals. Generally, there is a shortage of such type of equipments in these hospitals. Similarly, the third point which can be done by the government is research in the field of medicines and in the field of medical equipments should be increased. No doubt our government is doing in this field an appreciable work, but more focus is required in this field also. Next thing is there should be proper check on the medical malpractices. Medical malpractices means whatever the bad tactics are adopted by the private hospitals, private clinics, doctors, or sometimes negligences is adopted by the government hospitals. It should not be there. If such type of case is reported, then strict action should be taken against the person who has done so. So these are some points by which we can improve the health facilities in India. Dear students, in this part of this chapter, we will try to understand that how the sincere efforts put by any organization leads to the improvement in the basic health facilities. First, we will take the example of Indian state Kerala. So what happened in Kerala? Let's see. In 1996, Kerala government decided to give its 40% of income to panchayat so that the panchayat may spend that money on the basic facilities. After getting this money, what the improvement we seen in the local level, let's see. Due to this step, the basic facilities like clean drinking water, schools and hospitals improved, and also the status of the human life in Kerala increased. So if the government is sincere, if their policies are clear and focused, then we can improve the basic facilities. Now let's move towards second example. Second example is of a country which is called Costa Rica, and this country is situated in South American continent. At present, it is considered one of the healthiest countries in the world because of the decision taken by the government. Few years back, the government decided that it will not keep its army, and whatever the money which earlier they were spending on the army, that money started using on providing the basic health facilities to its citizens like education and on the health. So by that, the Costa Rica country became the healthiest country of the world. So by the taking the example of Kerala and by taking the example of Costa Rica, we can say this, that if government is willing, if the citizens of any country are willing, then we can do wonders in this sector. So dear students, this is all about in the chapter. Now let's do the recapitulation whatever we have studied in this chapter. Dear students, first we studied that health means to remain free from physical and mental worries and injuries. After that, we studied that though the condition of health facilities has improved, but still there is a lot to do in the health sector. Then we studied that public health service is a chain of hospitals from rural areas to cities. Next, we studied that in private hospitals, good health facilities are provided, but treatment is costly. Due to this, all people cannot afford. After this, we studied that there is a need to increase the number of government hospitals and medical staff. Next, we studied that research in the field of medical science should be increased so that our health facilities may improve. And in the last, we studied that government can learn from the experience of state Kerala and Costa Rica, and it can put more efforts in order to provide the better facilities or the better health facilities to its citizens. This is all about in today's chapter. Dear students, now let's do the quick revision whatever we have studied in this chapter. And this time I have brought for you people true and false. And first question is, health means to remain free from physical and mental worries and injuries. Whether this statement true or false, you have to tell. Well student, this statement is a true statement. Second question, clean drinking water and environment is not a part of the health. Is this statement true or false? Well, this statement is a false because clean drinking water as well as environment is a part of health. Without clean drinking water and environment, good health cannot be expected. Next question. India has least number of medical colleges in the world. Whether this statement true or false. So, dear students, this statement is a true statement, not this is a false statement, because in India maximum number of medical colleges are there, but here I have used the word least. Least means very less. Next question. The number of doctors with respect to population in rural areas are much less. Is this true or false? So the statement is a true statement. Next question. It is the duty of government to safeguard the life of every citizen. Dear students, this statement is also a true statement. Dear students, this is all about in today's chapter. I hope you people would have learned something new, interesting and knowledgeable. I request all of you people that please take care of your health and always try to learn something new and interesting, because it is well said that if money is lost, nothing is lost. If health is lost, something is lost. But if character is lost, everything is lost. With these words, I say bye bye all of you. God bless you all. Thank you very much for participation.